Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gordon Frayne, and today we're talking about render crypto and a dawn of a new AI paradigm. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to get notified about similar videos, smash that bell notification icon. We're dropping videos almost every single day on the channel, so you're going to want to get notified. And don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked in the description below. Grab it while it's free. It is my gift to you. And let's get into the video. So if you know anything at all about render AI crypto, you will know that it is one of the leading tokens in the artificial intelligence narrative in the entire crypto space. And if we zoom out and look back to last year, 2023, artificial intelligence was the most popular narrative of the entire year, with many people searching about AI, with many people investing in different AI tokens in the crypto space, but also, in my opinion, largely driven by the surge in popularity with more conventional AI tools like ChatGPT and others. I think ChatGPT really blew the door open on the whole AI revolution in 2022 and 2023, and we saw a huge amount of hype around not just ChatGPT, but also all of these additional tools and SaaS products that began to incorporate artificial intelligence as part of their software. So again, it became a narrative that not just took the crypto space by storm, but also a narrative that took the technology space as a whole by storm during the course of 2023. We'll come back over here in a moment, but if we jump into the Dune narratives dashboard and we look at year-to-date performance for all the different narratives, artificial intelligence is actually only the 8th best performing narrative in the crypto space this year so far, year-to-date for 2024 since January 1st of this year. We can see that meme coins, real-world assets, the Bitcoin narrative, liquid staking derivatives, etc., have all performed better than artificial intelligence. That's not to say that it's doing poorly, but these other narratives have outperformed artificial intelligence when it comes to year-to-date performance. However, if we actually scroll down to the volume per narrative, we can see that meme coins is still by far and away the number one narrative when it comes to the amount of volume flowing through the tokens associated with the meme coin narrative. But artificial intelligence is actually the second largest or best performing narrative when it comes to volume. So there is still a lot of capital and volume of dollars flowing through tokens in the artificial intelligence narrative, and Render is one of those leading tokens. So again, just painting the picture here on how we've gone from artificial intelligence being the most popular narrative in 2023. It's definitely being outperformed by a number of other narratives in the crypto space this year so far. But in my opinion, I do still think the artificial intelligence narrative is very strong and will continue to be strong throughout the course of this particular bull cycle. If we zoom in and just think about the sheer amount of work and war going on in the AI space in general, we're seeing not just in the crypto space, but the leading companies in the world, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Apple, all making big moves over the past 12 to 24 months to try and get their claim or stake of the pie when it comes to artificial intelligence. Microsoft have basically acquired ChatGPT at this point. We've got Google Bard, their competitor to ChatGPT. We've also got Meta and the Llama protocol that they're pushing for artificial intelligence. Apple haven't really launched a true competitor, but they did announce a partnership with ChatGPT just a couple of months ago, and Apple have been making a number of acquisitions in the space over the past couple of years as well. They've been acquiring AI companies like crazy, as we'll see in a moment. But all of this is to say that the leading and the biggest companies by market cap in the entire world are the ones that are leading and at the bleeding edge of this artificial intelligence revolution. We just mentioned Microsoft, Apple, and Google and Meta, and then Nvidia obviously being a chip manufacturer, and all of this compute that has to happen in terms of artificial intelligence is happening with chips that need to do huge amounts of processing per second in order to actually churn out all of the data, read and understand the data, and then come up with these responses that the artificial intelligence is able to produce. And that all happens thanks to powerful chip manufacturers running those different processes like NVIDIA does. And we saw NVIDIA putting in crazy new all-time highs. It did become the number one company in the world just a couple of weeks ago by overall market cap before being overtaken by Apple and Microsoft again. But NVIDIA being another benefactor of this entire AI revolution, and many people make the comparison that Render is like the NVIDIA for the blockchain world. And we'll talk about that in more detail in a moment. But coming back to these acquisitions that I was just mentioning, you can see here how Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook or Meta, Google and Apple have been acquiring artificial intelligence companies like crazy, especially since kind of this 2020 time period. We've seen an uptick in the number of acquisitions by the leading corporations and companies in the world, making moves to be more aggressive in terms of acquiring AI companies and incorporating, their tech into the products and services that these conglomerates offer. So, lots of crazy stuff going on in the AI wars. And in my opinion, a lot of this is filtering into the crypto space, particularly with tokens like Render. And again, if we look at the artificial intelligence market global forecast for the next few years towards the year 2030, it's estimated that we're going to have a 35.5 increase in compounded annual growth rate. And we're going to be moving towards a world where we've got over 1.339 billion in terms of artificial intelligence market share by the year 2030. So lots of big increases, even since the year 2022, when we really saw ChatGPT take off. And all throughout the course of 2023, we've seen big growth over the past couple of years, but you can just see how much growth we're due to happen between now and the year 2030 over the course of the next 5 to 6 years. AI is getting better week over week, month over month, and it's able to automate so many of the processes that, people are doing in their day jobs right now. And again, a lot of the scaremongering kind of comes in that artificial intelligence is going to be replacing so many jobs. And yes, I do think it will replace certain jobs, but it will also create a whole bunch of other jobs. And if you know how to leverage this technology to your own benefit, you can serve to be one of the benefactors in the long run. So jumping back over to Render Network, again, we made the comparison with NVIDIA a moment ago, but Render and the comparison that a lot of people make is the fact that Render is to blockchain technology what NVIDIA is to centralized servers. So distributed GPU rendering on the blockchain is all about what Render does. Again, in this world where we're having increased computing needs, the idea with having a distributed GPU and rendering on the blockchain is that ultimately, as this technology scales, if you can do all of this compute in a distributed fashion, the idea is that there is a big reduction in cost over time if you're able to decentralize the process and do all of that GPU rendering and compute at a fraction of the cost that it currently has on centralized servers like AWS, etc., etc. So advancing the next generation of rendering and AI technology is what the Render Network is all about. Very recently, they did also upgrade to Solana. So they moved from an ERC20 token over to the Solana network. In my opinion, this probably bodes well in the medium to long term for having better transaction processing, faster time to settlement, and all of this with Solana versus Ethereum. So I think, there's been a couple of hiccups and even a dip in price over the past week or two as this has actually been rolling out. But in the medium to long term, I think there is going to be a positive impact. So hopefully this all gives you a better understanding of where we are at in terms of this AI revolution, and the whole idea being that if we can decentralize this compute, that it allows it to happen at a fraction of the cost that it does on centralized servers at the moment, because you have to understand that technologies like ChatGPT and software platforms that are using large amounts of data processing for their SaaS products that now incorporate artificial intelligence, they're paying for server space and all of that compute that's happening on AWS in a scalable fashion, and they're paying rent essentially for all of the compute that they're using on a month-over-month, year-over-year basis. And Render want to democratize that, but also make it more cost effective for all of that compute to happen in a decentralized blockchain world. So again, you can come over to the Render website and learn more about all of this yourself. They've obviously got a very intelligent team behind what they're building. We have done other price prediction videos for Render on the channel. You should definitely check out the other videos that we have done specifically on Render and its price potential over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. But again, you can see here the advantages that they call out on the website in terms of network scalability, efficient infrastructure, a better use of GPU power, and digital rights management. Lots of interesting stuff going on with Render. And over the course of the past number of months, if we go over to CoinMarketCap and if we search for Render, we can check out exactly the price action that we've seen. We have seen it slightly dip in the past couple of days thanks to the market dipping and Bitcoin being back at this kind of $60,000 level. Render has indeed slipped below the $5 mark. If we zoom out and look at the big picture, we did have prices of Render getting upwards of this $12 to $13 mark here. Just a few weeks ago, we were hitting a $12.34 level at the middle of March when Bitcoin was putting in those all-time highs prior to the halving. With Bitcoin's retracement over the past couple of months in this kind of post-halving 100-day period, we have seen most of the altcoin market cool off a little bit. Render is currently sitting though at $4.92. Again, if you check out the price prediction video on our channel, we were talking about prices reaching between 60 and 120 US dollars by the peak of the bull cycle. Again, this is not financial advice, but if Render can get back to those kind of levels, it definitely leaves room for at least a 10x from today's prices of $4.92. This particular buying opportunity could be a very lucrative one if you understand what's going on in the space right now, if you understand where we are at in the cycle, and if you understand the narrative surrounding artificial intelligence and how tokens like Render are going to continue to ride that narrative over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. It could be a very good buying opportunity. So obviously this is not financial advice, and obviously we have to wait and see what remains to unfold, but it could be a very interesting 12 to 18 months from now towards the end of 2025 for tokens like Render in the artificial intelligence narrative. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below on your way out the door. It would mean the world. And if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to our first 10,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world if you subscribed. If you want to get notified, smash that bell notification icon. And once again, don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked in the description below. It's completely free. It is my gift to you. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one.